What's up, y'all? It's Spoonies Girl Lady signing in. How is everyone? I'm blessed. Looks like it's gonna be a, oops. I will fix that. Looks like I was thinking of, maybe working on the bridges today. Making things a little prettier. I think we're far enough along that we could probably start decorating the river a little bit. You know, changing the bottom a little bit. You see, it's just really flat and very, yeah, very, very bland. You can see behind me, very bland. Put some rocks in the river. Make maybe some of them stick out a little bit. Change up the bed. Yeah, I like that idea. I also want to work on the fences a little bit. Get the, just get the Riverwalk itself going. And then I'm still thinking of also figuring out what each building is going to be. I'm probably not going to start with the buildings this episode, but I do want to start figuring out what they're going to be. Some I already know, but I honestly don't know all of them. And so, with that, let's get started. It was never there. It never happened. All right. Let's see. Oops. Misplaced dirt. Yeah, still a construction zone. Alright, I think first we should probably work on the river. And let's go ahead and get out, start looking at a build palette. Bottom of the river. It's mostly gravel right now, but I think I would like some of this. Put a little mossy cobblestone. It'll look like bigger rocks down there. I want to, like, put a little bit of bigger rocks down in there and maybe make some of those rocks stick out a little bit. Might need some of this, not too sure. But yeah, I think if I start off with that, is there anything else I might be able to use? I could put a little bit of sand here and there just to kind of tie it in with the ocean. Let's see. Actually, I might even need a little bit of that. And what we need to do, especially toward the ocean, putting more sand. I'm going the wrong way. My brain is not awake yet. This should be interesting. Okay, so yeah, here we have the ocean. We have lots of sand going up in, but we have zero sand in the river. Except for, like, right there. But that's... I've actually covered a lot of sand, too. But yeah. Maybe bumping up a little bit. I think I may eventually want to turn the rest of this into the beach. So let's just stick from here on in. And just put a little bit of sand here and there, just to break everything up a bit. You know, just start kind of doing stuff like that. Okay, now we got two colors in. Basically the same stuff. Actually, another thing we might want to do, I may need you to give it a little depth. I'm just going to want the mossy cobble. And there we go, see? And a little bit of foliage in the river. But those can even come up a little bit because this is not really a navigable river. Even though, yeah, I mean, you could put a boat down it if you really, really wanted to. I think the bridges are even high enough. Yeah, kind of barely. But it's not meant to be a really navigable river. Just meant to be a very shallow, slowly flowing one. See if we have, a few obstacles. No biggie deal. And this is the kind of stuff that you can do to dress up a river a little bit. Throw one on the side. Make it bumpy. Make it lumpy. I've noticed in an actual river or small river that runs through some family property in another state that the gravel really doesn't get slimy. It's the bigger rocks that do. The gravel, for whatever reason, really doesn't hold. So this actually looks fairly accurate, where the larger rocks are slimy and slippery. Even though it's mossy. I mean, we can call it algae, right? It's about, not quite the same color, but it's close enough for what we got in Minecraft. That's right, I already waterlogged those. Giving it an even gentler of a stream. Which actually would probably more accurate, to be honest. That's another thing I was thinking about was gravel in real life would not have like a 3-foot drop like that. But regular rocks would. And those would hold back the gravel behind them. Let's just grab some andesite just for a little bit something different. Not what I wanted to do. There we go. Because it gives it a little bit of a gnarly look to it. And again, it helps to break up the river. Though most of it's going to be the slimy stuff. But there you go. See, now it's a little bit more of a gentle flow. It actually pushes the river out just a little bit more, so it elongates the flowing parts, which is actually really cool. I didn't know it was going to do that. I'm learning stuff too. Grab a little bit of sand. Just to do it. And yeah, there's stuff that you can do like this to make your river a lot more appeasing to the eye. See, now it doesn't look so bland. Now it's not this. I told you we were going to fix this. This is much better. This looks like more of a real river bottom. I am much more pleased with this. Alright, time to tackle the entire thing. So much better. This already feels far more alive. First I did the rocks on the bottom and shaping the bottom a little bit. I didn't want to do too much since I didn't want the river to be very deep. And then I came through, and with the palette that you see in my hotbar is the plants that I did with cattails, and I didn't do any lily pads, but I did do drip leaf, both sizes. And seagrass, and even a bit of vining and stuff. And how you make cattails is just 2 high sugar cane and do some candles on top. I usually will like double block up like this, put my candles on top, and then break that. Now, I know I can't place the sugar cane, but I'll just do 2 high sugar cane just like that. I've seen it done before by various people. I have no idea who actually came up with the concept, but thank you. Thank you. I also threw a bunch of vines in on my way back up through. Now this looks so much better. It already looks more alive. One thing I will, and I did put string on top of the big drip leaf, or else they'll just go way high into the air, and I don't want them to do that. Now, I do eventually want to put fish in here, but I'm going to wait until I can figure out how to keep them in the river. Maybe some frogs too. Now, I did not do this part because I can't do this part yet until I put the dam in. As I need to know exactly where the water is going to fall in, as I'm going to have to dig it out and make it look like the water's been digging there for a little while. Make it look old. So this part I had to leave. Which is fine, Now we need to start on our bridge. Now, let's see. What do we have for pallet for the bridge? I know I'm going to need coarse dirt. Let's see. I'm going to need flowers of some sort. What would look good? I think azure blue eyes. I like azure blue eyes. I hope I pronounced that right. I can only hope that I pronounced that right. Now for the boxes, definitely some spruce. Let's see. That. Need... Where's the stone? There you are. I need you. Let's see where we can get... Boom, boom. Boom, boom. I think I'm going to jump over to cobble. Make it a cobble bridge. Oops. Come on. Bridges are actually fairly easy to do. Simple bridges. I'm a very simple builder. I like simple and elegant. I don't like over detailing because to me it's actually just too much clutter. Yeah, over detailing really is just too much clutter for me. My brain can only handle so much. I think that'll be alright. The diagonal bridge is going to be the bugger. But I'll show you a very simple bridge design using the easy bridge, and that'll give me time to figure out the harder one. Now, I like to use coarse dirt for this because it looks more like potting soil. There we go. Doesn't matter because they look the same. Now underneath, yeah. Oh, I know what I can do. Sorry, Vine. Goodbye. I'm going to need you and you. Again, very, very simple, easy. Ta-da. Doesn't require a lot of brain power because you're talking to the queen of not a lot of brain power. And there we go. A very simple, very elegant bridge with flowers on it. This is just making it functional. I'm going to put lights on it later. I have to figure out the lighting style that I want first, and I haven't figured that out yet. But, I mean, if you're not like a super skilled builder, but you want to still make your builds look better, there are some really simple tricks to do that make, you know, with a limited palette, and not a lot, you know, not overly much going on, you can do some very simple yet very elegant builds. And make it look like you know what you're doing without actually knowing what you're doing. But yeah, I'll put some lights on this thing eventually. But yeah, I gotta go do the other one. Okay, I tried. It's not completely perfect. Doesn't look quite as good as the other one. They had to shorten a cobblestone on this side by just because of the way that the boardwalk was laid out. Riverwalk type thing. But it is in. It is in. I also had to put a lot less flowers, as you can tell. Just because of the way that the trapdoors work, I had to put blocks in between. But it doesn't look too bad, considering that I put the bridge in a bad spot that I probably really shouldn't have put it in. But it's there. See, this is what happens when you don't plan anything. I don't plan anything. I just wing it. I really do. If I get anything right, it is truly by the grace of God, not by my own doing. Alright. Now let's start planning. Oh, oops. Some of these buildings here. Now we're not going to actually build any of the buildings. We're just going to start maybe figuring out what we want to do with them. And we're not going to do all of them today. Probably just a few. Maybe enough to get you excited. Hopefully. This, I already know what it's going to be. This weird looking thing is actually going to be a... Come on. There we go. Theater. Yep, we're going to have plays in here. Well, not real ones anyway. Now, I made two really big ones over here because I wanted to have like a fancy restaurant somewhere over here. So we'll do, let's do fancy steakhouse. There we go, fancy steakhouse. Now, I love my barbecue. I love my barbecue. So we're definitely going to have a barbecue joint around here somewhere. I just haven't figured out which one's going to be the best one. Now this, I already know what it's going to be. This is going to be like a small open air market. Okay, that's a road. Nice and big. That's actually got a lot of area here. Oops. That's one thing about bedrock. You got to be really careful where you put your fingers. Okay, this little red guy I think is going to be the barbecue joint because I can put the smoker out here. There we go. But yeah. Sometimes just, you know, the random layout of the buildings will actually speak to you a little bit. And it's like, oh, I could do this. And oh, I could do that. Like a building with a lot of window room. Say like this green one here has a lot of window space. That would be really good for like a boutique. Let's do that. I mean, it probably won't get made till after 1.20, but... Oh, see if I can actually spell this right. I think I did. But there's so much that you could do with these things. I mean, most of them will probably be restaurants of some sort. There we go. That's better. Because yeah, I've got these really big ones that I could do something with, but I got some really small ones that'll be something cool to do with. What I might have to do is Google some actual, like, river walks and stuff like that. The ones that, the couple that I have been down have been mostly, like, restaurants. Though some have had some other really cool stuff, too. So I want to make sure that I'm doing. Oh, where's a small one? I'd like to actually do, like, a gem and rock shop. Because Minecraft has some really cool stuff. How about you? I have visited a lot of gem and rock shops, like doing touring caves. They're really interesting. It'll give me something to do with, like, you know, throwing out some gold and copper nuggets and stuff like that, raw copper. Diamonds, emeralds can go in there, amethyst definitely. But yeah, that's some of the stuff that you could put on a river walk. Is just really neat little interesting shops. Just, you know, all kinds of things that you can do. Coffee houses, yes, coffee houses. Let's do... If I can spell. Probably going to have more than one coffee joint in this place. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do with something like this. And it's completely up to your imagination. You can probably figure out far more cool things than I ever could. But yeah, here we have it. A basic idea of what you can do. See, we're at a beach. So quite possibly... Oh yeah, this is going to be some sort of eatery too. I already thought of that. But this is the beach. What about a surf shop? Can't have a beach without a surf shop. I know it's the Alpines, but why not? Beachwear, stuff like that. And you can be everyone's favorite. There's just so much that you can do. So much that you can do. It's truly unlimited. Well, it's only limited by your imagination. But yeah, I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration on stuff that you can do. We got some decorating done today. We will be putting fish and probably frogs in here too, once I figure out how to keep them in the river. I don't want the fish going past this, and I don't know a good way of, barring it in yet? I mean, I could. Well, that's all waterlogged. Do iron bars waterlog yet? I might be able to keep the fish in that way. Oh, they do waterlog. We'll call this a trash collector. Okay, well, I can probably keep the fish in now. Because that's an easy add. Probably not tropical fish. I'm thinking just salmon. If I can find them real quick. If I even remember what the strider... If I even... there it is. Remember what the egg looks like. But yeah, it's just stuff like this that can give your river a lot of life. Because now we have movement. Now we have movement. And movement is what we want. It's what really helps your base come alive. Of course, you probably don't have to put this much fish in your river, but I'm doing this as an example. Whee! There we go. Some of the big salmon having a little bit of a problem. Do you need nudged? Okay, 'cause I get a little worried when you get out of the water a bit. Yeah, the big salmon, that's one thing about Bedrock. We have the big salmon. And, they get stuck on things. Well, you are technically in the water. There we go. Help you out there. Okay, well, some things do happen. Oh well. At least it's movement, right? But there we go. There we go. We've started working on figuring out what to do with the buildings. We got some movement into the river. We decorated the river. At least partially did the bridges. And now you see how quickly it can actually look really nice. And there's not a lot of effort that really went into this. A lot of this was randomly or semi-randomly placed blocks and half-baked ideas. But yeah, now we have a really, really nice river. Not always completely done, but a really nice river. All right, this is Boonies Gear Ladies, signing out.